I'm not a big mayonnaise, butter.
Well,
Does that include like bacon fat and that kind of stuff? What?
any kind of fat. See, part of what
I can add fat.
what?
I can add fats.
Part of what we're talking about
Right.
is changing your conceptual framework
Right.
about the appropriate kinds of foods. It's not calories,
Right.
it's nutrients.
Right.
And what are the nutrients for, and how much of each kind of nutrient do you want?
Right.
And so this page says you're going to eat 60% of your intake is going to be fat.
In what form?
Whatever form it is. We'll look, we'll show you.
Okay.
But the first
That's
thing...
one of the things that
Wiley.
Susie, yeah, her name is, that's a...
I read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I read into it.
Yeah.
And Perlmutter. Fats, and we get to some, the fats are for fuel. Okay?
Okay. Not the protein. Everybody says the
The
protein.
fats are for fuel. The gas is to make the car go.
Right.
Diesel is for fuel.
Mm-hmm.
The Eskimos, how do they possibly, they eat fat.
Yeah.
Okay? The proteins, and this is completely simplified,
Right.
are for muscles and bones. But the proteins give you a structure.
Mm-hmm.
The fats let you go. So the whole history that you'll learn more
Oh,
about
that's totally flipped. Yeah.
is the opposite.
Absolutely.
We have all been sold a bill of goods that is so ingrained, to use the word,
No pun intended. Right?
no pun intended, ingrained in our cognitive
Yeah. Oh no.
mindset that you eat low fat, healthy whole grain, fresh flour orange juice. That's what we've been sold.
Right.
And for God's sake, don't eat too much protein.
Right.
Or red meat. But we'll come back. And then the protein is 30%.
Wow.
The carbohydrates are only 10%.
Right. I understand that. I get that.
But-
Because that turns into sugar.
But of each of these dues, we're going to look and see what is in the bucket of carbohydrates.
Right. Right.
What is in the bucket of fats?
Right.
What's the buckets of protein? And that is the universe of any food you eat, and eat it as long as you want to, so long as you're hungry, but not if you're not.
Right.
Eat when you're hungry and stop when you're no longer hungry. Put that down as a philosophy. You didn't count. Don't count it. Keep track of your body. Are you eating this because you're hungry?
Right.
Or are you eating this because it tastes good?
Well, I have to admit, there are days I'm on Weight Watchers and it says I have 38 points, and I'm, it's 9 o'clock at night and I've eaten 22, and I'm like, okay, do I have to eat,
Yeah. So,
Right.
so now we're going to look at what's in the dues. And what I should have done here, it's the idea of what a concept is. A concept is a name, a definition, and attributes.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it, Rogerio?
12:20.
We're going to shoot more for
I heard Kim.
this. Kim, this is Rogerio.
Nice to meet you.
We're going to shoot for quarter 12, quarter 1.
All right.
Quarter 1 o'clock, right there. Okay. And I should have asked her, well, the way you form a concept, as opposed to a dictionary definition.
All right.
A concept has a name. It has a definition or criteria attributes that you can use those to judge whether an example is a member or not a member.
Okay.
So we're trying to form the concept of healthy nutrition.
Right.
And the do's are the positive examples that we've categorized this way. So it's getting a mental framework where you're thinking, in general, I want to be eating 60% fats. In general,
Right.
30% proteins.
Right.
In general, 10% carbohydrates. And here's another thing you want to put down. No one ever suffered from carbohydrate deficiency syndrome. It doesn't exist.
Right.
And you want to be eating, and the carbohydrates, the other criteria,
I would never have guessed this.
the other criteria are colorful above ground carbohydrate.
Well, I know that.
Colorful above ground carbohydrate. And, but in season. In the paleo times. So in the fall, you can eat more berries and so forth. But so these are, let's go down, starting at fats and going around counterclockwise. Give me comments about those foods, which of those you like or others that you wonder about.
Oh, I would eat all of those, but again,
So we got olives, olive oil, avocado, nuts and cashews, coconut oil.
Right.
Uh,
My question, Charlie, is how do I quantify how much is 60% of what I eat, how much is 30%?
you don't quantify.
I don't.
In general, you eat twice as much
Okay.
and 6 times as much fats as you're eating carbohydrates.
Got it.
In general.
See, and this is totally flipped. Well, I know we already said that, but any of these on Weight Watchers, you're hungry, you eat whatever you want.
No.
All the time.
And
So I could make but this notion of having a great big salad as your meal.
it's a good idea.
Yeah. Right. But
It's very hard to get. First of all, fats. 1 gram of fat has got twice the calories of 1 gram of carbohydrates.
Right.
So
Right.
You get more fat from the fat.
Right.
And I probably should have put the bacon up there, but just a little sliver makes things taste good. And
Oh yeah, I mean you put a little crumble of bacon on a nice big salad and you're good with avocado and all
so
good.
there are other examples of fats in the 100 paleo books, whether it's Gary Taub or William Davis or
Right.
David Perlmutter or Walls
Right.
or Wiley, or there are many of them.
Right.
They're all singing out of the same songbook, different songs.
Right.
And so you study them
Yeah.
and add it to your framework.
Right. You see what works for you.
But and then you've got eggs and bacon and fish and chicken and duck and beef and lamb. The lamb has a B on it. Are you on that page?
Yep.
It's just and then over here on the carbohydrates, the lettuce and all the greens and celery and tomatoes and onion and garlic and mushroom and bell peppers and berries and melon and broccoli.
Yeah.
Lemons, spinach,
I love that.
shallots, scallions, eggplant. That's plenty of stuff to be very imaginative and become a great chef of this kind of food.
Oh yeah. Oh no. This is
Because you're a chef.
right. This is very
You like to cook.
yeah. Well, I own a restaurant, so
I do too.
you do?
Yeah.
What do you own?
I own a part of a restaurant.
Right.
Clover Food Labs.
Where's that?
It's in Harvard Square. It's a fresh seasonal vegetable fast food thing that is you'll like it.
Is that all clovers? You let me know.
They're not paleo, but they're fresh and local, and they're into grains. And yes, but you can go there and I can get a meal that doesn't have the grain. So those are the do's. What are the don'ts?
The don'ts?
What fats don't you eat? What proteins don't you eat? What
Don't
carbohydrates?
eat butter.
What?
Don't eat butter on there.
Okay.
Butter's not on there. Or any kind of hydrogenated, can't believe it's not butter.
He'll put butter back on the fats list.
I can eat butter?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So anything that's, I would stay away from any packaged, any processed.
No, just fats.
Or fats. Well, if I go down the fat aisle, it would be, corn oil.
Corn oil.
Right.
And they
Sunflower oil.
call it vegetable oil.
Right.
And it's a marketing scam. Oh, what could be wrong with vegetable oil?
Right.
It's grain oil.
Really?
It's from corn and wheat. All the grains is where they get the oil from. And they call it vegetable oil to make you think it's okay. It's not okay.
Scandal. No.
Soy oil. High fructose corn syrup.
What's the deal with soy?
No,
Not good.
not good.
I know. I watched this thing, Food Inc. or whatever it was.
Okay.
Feeding soy to the
So
cows.
proteins. I don't know which are the bad proteins.
You stay with, more and more. I don't know. I had this image of Frank Perdue in his chicken farm. I eat local chicken. I just can't.
But to the extent that you can,
Right.
eat organic.
Right. Right.
And for carbohydrate, don't.
Oh, breads and I would stay away from any of the packaged.
Yeah. What you need to do is to get a very broad conceptual understanding of what the no carbohydrates are.
Would that include root vegetables and things like that?
Would do what?
The root vegetables,
Yeah.
like the sugar, the beets,
Potatoes.
and carrots, and potatoes, and all that stuff.
A
Turnips.
little carrot every now and then.
Right.
No potatoes.
Right.
A little rice. But in the early days of what we're talking about, I want you to go cold noodle.
Yeah, I can do that. Right.
And then a month or two into it, very gradually bring in a little rice or bring in, but mainly just to keep the meat dishes company.
Yeah, I can. That doesn't bother me. That's
Yeah. And then the beverages. Which beverages do I could do?
Well, I drink water and espresso.
Okay.
I'm not a big.
So we'll go ahead here. So our don't list is no ice cream,
Right.
no vegetable oil,
Right.
no vegetable shortening, no margarine, no sausages,
Right.
no processed meats.
Right. No.
Under protein, put processed meats.
No deli sliced turkey. No deli.
But
All the deli meats they're horrible for you.
anyway, it's this list down here that you really have to have a broad understanding.
Yep.
That fresh Florida orange juice. No.
Oh, I remember when Sam, when he was in high school, was working at a